Still hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Perfect. And I'm just going to make sure everything is good. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Coach's Kitchen. We're going to give it about 2 minutes just to give people an opportunity to tune in and just to make sure that we're live. And if you're in already, if you could just tell us where you are watching or listening from, we would love to just hear where you're coming from. We have an amazing show tonight. Like for real, for real. Like it's amazing. I have one of my sister girlfriends here with me this evening. But she is one of the most phenomenal women that I know. She's a true light. And I'm so very excited for you to meet her. So I'm going to give it about 2 minutes just so that way we can make sure everyone is on and we're set up. But yes, tell us where you're calling in from. Calling in from, that is so funny. Tell us where you're listening from. Calling in from, that's the old school radio show. So yes, can't wait for you to listen in. It's gonna be a party tonight, y'all. I hope you're ready. I hope you are ready. Hope you're ready. Hope you're ready. I'm just gonna check one more platform just to make sure we are good to go. And we're gonna get started. All right, we're good. One more minute and we're gonna get started. All righty, here we go. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Coach's Kitchen, where breakthrough is always on the burner. I'm your host, Leslie Nicole, life coach, motivational speaker, and your favorite soul chef. This is where ambitious women like you come to unpack what's simmering beneath the surface. From purpose to power moves, healing to high stakes leadership. Because, y'all, this is not fast food healing. It's the slow, sacred work that sticks. So pull up a seat, bring your whole self, invite a friend, and let's stir up something real. So, in this episode of the Coach's Kitchen, we're exploring a powerful question. What if the missing ingredient in your health journey was not another diet, workout plan, or more willpower, but solely God's presence? Well, tonight we're joined by Dr. Cara Williams. Where you at, girl?
Hey,
There she is. Here she is. But let me give you the
I'm
proper
right
introduction. I got to give you the proper introduction because, girl, she is slayed tonight. So we're joined by Dr. Cara Williams, pharmacist, women's health advocate, and founder of Faith Strong Elite. With over a decade of experience as a district manager, Dr. Cara, that is so interesting. I love saying it. Ha! You earned it, girl. Dr. Cara led high performing teams before answering a deeper calling to help women radically change their health from the inside out. She got into pharmacy to help people, but through Faith Strong Elite, she helps women like me save their own lives. Dr. Carr will share how inviting God into her fitness journey transformed not just her body, but her entire life. Tonight, y'all, we are unpacking how faith became the foundation for discipline, consistency, and lasting change, and why truth strength starts in the spirit before it ever shows up in the body. Now, y'all, this conversation is for women and men who's tired of starting over, done chasing quick fixes, and ready for a faith-led approach to health that creates real sustainable transformation. Dr. Carr, hey girl, hey!
Hey sis! Hello everyone. You have left me speechless with
Oh,
that introduction, sis. I cannot thank you enough. Thank
oh.
you for having me and inviting me on your beautiful platform just to see you step into your power
Mm,
and your dynamic voice, the gift that God has given you. It just leaves me speechless.
mm.
And it's part of why I do what I do. It's bigger than the weight loss. It's seeing women
Absolutely.
step into their purpose. So thank you
Yes.
so much for having me.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for your yes and just the many yeses
Thank
that
you.
you've said, not only to the women, but to the Lord. But let's get right into it. Let's get right
Y'all ready
into
to
it.
start cooking?
I'm ready. I'm ready to
All
start
right, let's
cooking.
eat.
That's what
Let's
they do. That's
eat.
what they do, right?
They do.
That's my daughter. She's gonna be like, Mommy, no, no.
I know the
Um,
kids have to keep me. I gotta stay informed with what's going on too. So
girl,
I'm with you.
I guess in the 40s, I just don't know any better. But anyway. So, but sis, so you began your career in pharmacy, as we
Yes.
said, and you transitioned into or in women's health and fitness
Mhm.
alongside that. So, what was the moment you realized God was calling you to do this work?
Ooh, okay. So I knew you was gonna leave with this question.
Did you know? I mean,
I knew you were gonna leave with this question. So how much time we got? So
I
all
mean,
right, to
technically
our
we had
watchers, technically I know her show was an hour, but if
45
y'all
minutes,
ever seen
but if you
Les
went
Nye, 45
45,
minutes?
but if you're willing to go an hour, we can go an hour. I'm here for you, girl.
I'm just saying, when we get together, anybody that knows when we get together, now we can go and we can talk. So I
Mm-hmm.
hope y'all ready.
I'm ready.
It's a lot to unpack, and so, but I just thank God for keeping me. I'm gonna try to hold this together because this is truly a passion of mine. So I got into pharmacy 17 years ago, believe it or not, and it was one of those things where I got into the profession because I really wanted to help people.
Yeah.
And, I actually stumbled across the pharmacy profession by job shadowing a pharmacist. And I was just like,
Mm,
oh my gosh, like I love this. I love working with people. I love people. I love that there's no continuity in the day. Like I love that every day is different. I can engage with technicians and help
mhm,
build their, career, even if it's beyond pharmacy. I just love building up people. And
mhm,
so, and then medicine was just in my mind, that's the fix for everything, right? And so in 2020 is when my life came to a screeching halt. So,
mm,
in my career in pharmacy, I practiced behind the bench and then I went into multi unit leadership where I was a pharmacy supervisor, district manager, district leader, where I just coached leaders to optimize their performance, build high performing teams, and be the best that they can be. And so in 2020, I know we all relate to, 2020 with COVID. Well,
mhm.
2020, not only was my family hit with COVID, but that's when I lost my father. So I am a true daddy's girl. And in August of 2020, I took my last vacation with my father. And so we went to Maryland
Mm,
to go witness my brother's beautiful wedding. We never thought we would see the day. So it was beautiful that my father, yes, like we never thought we'd see the day when my brother got married. So it was just beautiful that my twin sister, her family, my family could all come and just celebrate with my brother. My mom and dad were with us. And during that trip, my father complained of stomach ache. So, we're not thinking nothing of it. We're
right.
just like, okay, it's probably something that you ate or maybe just a bug from traveling. And then, fast forward, we came home in September and the symptoms just continued to intensify.
Mm,
And it then progressed to where he wasn't able to keep any food down. And then that progressed to when he did eat, he would just vomit. And so he checked himself into the hospital early in September. And when he did come home, it was his last day where we had to put him on hospice.
mm,
So on September 11th of 2020, my father was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. So this is where my life completely changed. Like I said, my life was just flipped upside down. I lost faith in medicine because every intervention we sought, we were told no, or the door was closed. He was not a candidate for chemotherapy. He was not a candidate for radiation. He was not a candidate for surgery.
Mm,
And that was all I knew. So not only did I feel like I lost hope and I lost faith in God, that God failed
mm.
me, I also felt like medicine and science failed me
That
too.
felt
So
you.
that's where my world just completely collapsed.
Mhm,
I went into a stage of depression. I was broken. I secluded myself.
mm. All right. You take your time.
It was dark. It was
Mhm,
dark. It was the darkest moment of my life. And it wasn't until one day I was just laying in the dark, and my husband came to me and he said, "Babe, we need you. The kids and I need you." So I was blessed enough to marry my high school sweetheart. We have three beautiful kids together. And his words kind of pulled me out of that darkness. But
mhm.
in that moment, I had a conversation with God, and I'm just like, I want to be here for my kids.
Yeah.
I need to start pursuing my wellness journey differently. God,
Mhm,
I need you. Like, I'm tired of the quick fixes. I'm tired of, the surface work, and I'm tired of starting over and stopping again and starting over. I'm just tired of this broken cycle that I'm on.
mhm,
And that's where he just kind of led me into taking more of a preventative approach with my wellness journey versus a prescriptive approach. And when I
mm.
tell you I've tried everything under the sun, to lose weight. I've tried detoxes, I've tried cleanses, I've tried every diet, the nomad's diet where you only eat one meal a day. I've tried colonics, I've tried medicine, I've been on Adipex. Like, we're here to keep it real.
Everything.
Like, I've tried everything under the sun, and nothing fixed the root issue.
Mhm,
And I was tired of that. I was tired of just feeling empty. Not only just I
mhm,
felt like I wasn't operating at my best self from a physical standpoint, even just everything at work and just serving in that type of role that I was in, you're just giving, 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 and then you're just left with nothing, or you're left feeling depleted, or left just feeling empty. And so I knew that if I was going to do something different, I knew that God was going to have to hold my hand. I knew that I was going to have to lean on Him for His strength. I knew He was going to have to order my steps, and I knew it wasn't going to be quick.
mhm.
And when you think about just me maturing in my spiritual journey, I find that I'm going to the word more. And so in Galatians
Building
5:23,
up
he
people. And
outlines,
so,
I hear my echo, sorry.
Sorry
But
about
in
that. Go ahead.
Galatians 5, he outlines the fruits of his spirit.
Mhm,
And everything, up until that point, when I think about my pursuit of on my weight loss journey,
mhm,
I was impatient in the journey, and that is not a fruit of God's spirit. So I was
mhm,
impatient. I was not kind to myself or my body. I didn't give myself grace for birthing three kids or just going through all the things that
mhm,
women have to go through. A lot of his fruit was not showing up in my journey. And so I knew that by inviting him into the journey, I would experience more faithfulness. I would
mhm,
experience more patience. I would become more disciplined. And so he was the difference maker. And so when I saw the change in my life and God put it on my heart to become
mhm,
certified in fitness and nutrition, I knew he had to be the blueprint. He had to be the foundation with my brand, which is
mhm.
what birthed Faith Strong Elite.
So, what does faith strong mean to you right now, like in this time? Like, what does it
Yeah.
mean for you and then what you call the faithfuls? What does that
Yes,
mean?
yes. So Faith Strong, it is a wellness brand rooted in God. Like,
Mhm,
God comes first. God tells us that our bodies are temples, right? And so when He put that on my spirit, I'm like, man, am I even treating myself as a temple? When you go into a
mhm,
temple, you mind your voice, you lower your voice, like
mhm,
you honor it in a different way. You walk in there when you take your shoes off, like there's just a different level of
mhm,
respect that you
mhm,
have for just temples, or even being in the presence of a temple. And so I knew that by inviting him into the journey, okay,
yeah.
I thought, well, how do I treat myself like a temple? Like, what does that even mean? And so
Mhm,
literally I broke it down to, let's approach our wellness journey like a house. So, our foundation is our faith. And God says, with the faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. And there's
Mhm.
so many mountains that are in our way when it comes to our wellness journey, whether it's time or whether it's just, body dysmorphia, or whether it's we're continuing to serve and pour into other people. It could
Mhm.
be illness. I mean, there's so many just roadblocks that go get in our way. And so I knew that our anchor and our foundation had to be faith.
Mhm.
The structure had to be nutrition second. Like before, prior to Face Strong Elite, I pursued my wellness journey. It was just all about the fitness. And I can't tell you
Mhm.
how many hours I spent in the gym getting nowhere. And so I'm
Mhm.
like, this ain't no way to live as a mom of three. Like, I want to have balance. I want to be
I need a
present for my
life.
children. Yeah. So it's like, all right, now I'm going to have to really dig into this nutrition talk and see what this is about. But when I tell you, it's been game changer for me. And it's honestly made things easier for me.
Mhm.
So it was, faith first, food nutrition second, and then the fitness piece third.
Mhm.
But to answer your question, faith strong is total dependence on God. Like
Mhm.
you guys are seeing me walk into and live my surrender season. I call this my surrender season where I don't want control over nothing anymore. I'm tired of getting into in my own way. I'm tired of fear leading my decisions. Faith strong is being totally dependent on Him, leaning on to the spiritual gifts that He's given me in order to create a purpose driven life.
Yeah. So we as
I know we said
women,
a lot
now
there.
you
Sorry.
good, you good. We as women approach health sometimes from a place of control,
hmm
punishment, or perfectionism,
hmm hmm
right? So how does inviting God into this process shift
Yeah.
both the mindset and then also the outcome?
Yeah. Uh, It totally shifts like your mindset because we're swarmed with so many things that come at us, whether it be ads or social
Hmm.
media, and sometimes even physicians that tell us what we should do, what we shouldn't do. And
Hmm.
so by inviting God into the experience, and my clients can tell you they experience this, we don't do things or approach things the way that the world does.
Oh,
And that right there.
go deeper, girl, go
Yes,
deep.
I mean, I'm telling you, like, the world tells you to approach weight loss with restriction. The world tells you to approach weight loss by not eating. The world tells you to approach weight loss by spending hours in the gym and by doing tons of cardio. The world tells you that you have to look a certain way to be
Mhm.
fit. But when you invite God into that journey, like you're learning to strip away everything that you've been taught or everything that you think just to go a little bit deeper and then do that internal work
Mhm.
in order to see that outward transformation. And
Mhm.
so the rushed quick fixes go out the window because we know Jesus was patient in everything. He walked
Mhm.
everywhere, first of all. He was patient in everything that he
He
pursued.
walked everywhere. Get your steps in, faithfuls. Anyway, go
He
ahead.
did, yes, he did, yes. He was slow to anger. He was just very patient, very compassionate. And again, when you find that you invite God into the journey, more of his fruit shows up. And then
Mhm.
you're like, okay, I'm okay with the process not being quick this time because I like who's unfolding. Like, I like the woman that I'm becoming. I like that how I talk. I like how I walk. I like that I'm now paying better attention to what I put into my body. I never had that outlook on my wellness journey until I invited him or until he shifted my mindset, which
Right.
his word says be transformed or be renewed by the transformation of your mind.
That's
So,
right.
like I said, I'm not trying to say I'm a, pastor. I'm going to, just keep mentioning the word, but as I do get more mature, I
Mhm.
really do find myself just reflecting more on his word, which is just a sword to keep my mind sharp,
Mhm.
and just help me stay disciplined on this track, even in the midst of the things and distractions that may try to come my way.
Well, if I can encourage you, you may not call yourself a pastor, but a pastor is technically a shepherd over a flock. And I'm just saying you do have a flock, and we've all been called to be disciples of Christ. So don't.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Just
you
saying.
go in there. So I will say this though, and I will say this because in part of my pursuit with really just trying to figure out, okay, who is Cara? Like outside of the
Mhm.
titles, like I thought that that's what defined me
Mhm.
up until the moment that I lost my father. It
Mhm.
was all about cross those dots, check the boxes, get that degree, get that, that career, get the house, marry the man, have the children, get the cars. Like I just thought that that's what life was all about.
Mhm.
And so again, it just helps you go to just, a little deeper. And so for me, I found that you're not living a purpose filled life unless you're using your spiritual gifts. And so through my church, we actually took a spiritual gifts test. And
Mhm.
so it's so funny that one of my spiritual gifts is pastor shepherd. And I shouldn't say funny because it's not funny. Like I just, that's how God makes everything come full circle.
Mhm.
And so, like I said, I don't refer to myself as a pastor or shepherd at all, but it's really just someone that spreads God's word
That's
or
right.
spreads enlightenment. And that's one of my spiritual gifts that I get to do that with our Faith Strong Elite community, which just
Mhm.
brings me so much joy and so much purpose that I love.
Well, I am so happy that you are leaning into your calling. It's so interesting. I was talking to with a coaching client yesterday, and they were just saying, I don't know who I am. One of my
Mm-hmm.
girlfriends last week was like, I don't know who I am.
Yeah,
And I was like, but you're a child of God.
yeah,
That is who you are.
yeah,
We do, like you said, we put so much emphasis on who we are professionally.
yeah.
But even this morning, the Bible apps verse was John 1:12, and it just talked about your identity in you being a child of God.
Mm-hmm.
And being a child, we obey our
Yeah,
father and our mother, but we obey our father and what he has called us or told us to do. So I
yeah.
am so happy that you are walking in this new identity because, honey, you are shining, you are glowing like
Thank
all
you,
the
sis.
things. You
Thank
are
you so
glowing.
much, sis.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Thank you.
And yeah.
No, I was just gonna say it's hard letting. Well, one, I remember literally
Hmm.
when God put it on my spirit to step down from my district manager role. I remember crying in my closet and calling my best friend and just saying, I don't know who I am. And she had to tell me the same thing that you told
Hmm.
me, that you are the beloved child of God. And I had to truly, I mean, it took like a year for me to figure out, just doing some soul searching, like, what does that mean? I don't have this title anymore. So what does
Hmm.
that mean? Do I not look as prestigious, on the outside world? Like, it's literally like just ripping away all of those layers. God don't care about that. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
yes, of course, everybody has goals, but again, all the accolades and titles is not going to give you fulfillment.
That's
And
it.
God cares less about what you are doing and more about who
Hmm.
you are becoming. And I just
Hmm.
want to fulfill whatever purpose He has for my life. And it's less about
Hmm.
what we can accumulate and more about what we can give. And so
Absolutely.
for me to be able to give this gift to other women, and I have worked with men, so fellas, I work with male clients too.
Yes, she
But
has.
for
And
me,
they look good too, y'all. They look good.
so for me to be able to pass the torch and give this
Hmm.
gift to women, that's when you know that you're really stepping into your calling.
Yeah, yeah. So let's switch gears a little bit.
Uh
Let's
huh.
actually talk about what you do like in Faith Strong Elite. So
Yeah.
earlier today, on social media, we asked some of our listeners, to finish this sentence.
Yeah.
I do great with my health until.
Mm-hmm.
And so some of those people filled in the blank with sweets and potato chips. They were just real with it, sweets and
Yeah.
potato chips, stress,
Yeah.
injuries, feeling overwhelmed or overcommitted, getting off an exercise routine or just a routine in general, and then other people's priorities.
Yeah.
So when you hear those answers, what do
Yeah.
they reveal about why motivation alone is not enough? And then
Yeah.
how does your faith, food, fitness framework
Mhm.
operate as a set of systems?
Yeah. So motivation's gonna come and go. Like motivation's
Hmm.
not always gonna be there. Yeah, I'm not always motivated. Okay.
Me
So,
neither.
but discipline is what's gonna make you stick. And again, if you remember from what I mentioned before, discipline does not come from ourselves. So you'll hear a lot of people say, "Well, I'm just not disciplined enough." You're right. You're not.
Mhm.
That's why we have to invite God into the journey. Discipline is a
Mhm.
fruit of the spirit. That's what I was missing. Like that is the
Mhm.
missing link. So we want more discipline, we want more patience, we want more gentleness and kindness. Those are all characteristics of God's fruit. So that's number one, is that's what makes Faith Strong Elite different. We lean on his
Mhm.
presence. From the time we wake up, so the morning wake up, if you're a part of my community, if you're a part of the app that we have, you will know, like, we not only are listening to devotion and prayer first thing in the morning, sometimes we are actually getting up to pray before our 5 a.m. workout. Like, we are starting our day with God, which totally shifts the tone and sets the tone for the day.
Mhm.
So that was the first question. And then what was the follow-up question that you
Yeah.
had, Sid?
Yeah, so I'll elaborate on the second question. So how does the framework
Oh,
of
yes.
the
Yes.
systems that support women through, I mean, life is
Yes.
going
So
to
that was,
interrupt
so
us.
my answer to your
I
question
already
was
know what you're going to say.
yes. So yeah, I answered her
Oh.
question, and the question was, when do you fall off? And my answer was when systems are out of place. So with my framework of faith, food, fitness, which is a model that you'll always hear me say, we go deeper into implementation of systems.
Mhm.
Underneath the columns of, or not columns, but underneath the anchors of your fitness life, or so your faith, your food, and your fitness. So with faith, what do your systems look like? Before Faith Strong Elite, my prayer life honestly was when I got in the car and when I would drive to work. I was not actually taking the time out to spend time in God's presence. It would be a rushed prayer. And so, what do our systems look like with our time with God? Are we talking to Him? Are we praying to Him? But most importantly, too, are we listening for Him? So
Mhm.
that's why I love meditation. That's why I love just sitting in a silent space. But how often do we get that silent time?
Mhm.
My children wake up at 6 a.m. So for me, I have to start early because from the
Mhm.
minute they wake up at 6 a.m., till they go to school, then I go to work, and then we come home, and then we've got a game or a practice to go to. Then you got your nighttime routine. We're just continuing. It's so loud, like the
Mhm.
God speaks in a whisper. So if we really want to hear His voice, we have to slow down. And so I
Mhm.
find that the best time for me to hear Him and speak to Him is in the morning. And so that's the tone that we set with Faith Strongly, is making sure that women have a system in place to spend more time in God's presence, inviting Him into the journey. And then we go deeper into systems with nutrition. What do your systems look like with your meal prep? What do your systems look like with incorporating more fiber into your diet, more protein into your diet, more complex carbs? Yes, ladies, we eat carbs.
We sure
So,
do.
making and we lose while we eat more. And again, that's again stripping away the mindset that you have to restrict in order to lose. So, making sure that we're implementing systems with the faith piece, with nutrition, as well as the fitness. So the daily movement, and then following a regimented strength training program. We don't wing our workouts at all. Everything is programmed by design in order for us to build muscle. So, my program is more, it goes deeper than weight loss. My
Mhm.
goal for my clients is metabolic health, so improving your metabolic health, and body recomposition, which means we are protecting your muscle. Muscle is everything, muscle is medicine,
Mhm.
while we are simultaneously decreasing your body fat. So
Mhm.
we're not chasing a number on the scale. Like, we literally are shape shifting from the inside out.
Now, what does that mean? You said muscle is medicine. Tell me what
Yes.
that.
Yeah. So muscle, the more muscle mass that we have, the higher our metabolic rate, or the higher your metabolism.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so the more muscle you have, the more body fat that you burn. So what I find not only in my journey, but then also just speaking to the hundreds of clients that I've coached, we're chasing a look, right? And so we
Mhm.
think that that look is a number on the scale. When in
Mhm.
all actuality, that look
Not.
is muscle. Yeah, like that look is, oh, I see my waistline.
Mhm.
That look is, oh, these clothes are fitting looser. I'm losing inches. Or that look is, oh, I see some of that muscle popping. And so that look that we're chasing is muscle. And
Mhm.
as we get older, women, we're actually losing muscle mass. So when we live in a state of restriction, especially from a nutrition standpoint, you are slowing down your metabolism. So not only are you slowing down your metabolism and decreasing your metabolic rate, you're losing your muscle, which is only compounding the issue. And so
Mhm.
everything that I do with my coaching, empowerment, teaching, and training is about increasing your metabolic health, and decreasing body fat, which is really just a silent killer for a lot of us,
Mhm.
a lot of Black
Mhm.
women. I want to say 57% of us are, considered obese or overweight, or just holding on to
Mhm.
excess body fat. which
Mm.
we can change holistically. Like
Yeah.
we can change it with natural tools.
So there are so we call ourselves high achieving women, right? And so
Hmm.
many of us high achieving women, we're disciplined leaders professionally,
Yes.
but we often struggle with that discipline and that same grace with consistency and that grace and
Yeah.
that structure to our health.
Yeah.
Why,
Yeah.
why, why do you think that is?
Yeah. Because it's, I just think naturally as women, like we are empaths and we are, it's in our nature to want to serve other people
Mhm.
and to take care of other people. And I just don't think that a lot of women has truly grasped how to take care of other people while honoring yourself at the same
Mm,
time.
mhm,
And so that's where, like I said, systems come into play. I'm going to
mm,
quote a famous author of the Atomic Habits. He's
mhm,
a number one best-selling author. His name is James Clear, and he has a
mhm,
quote that has resonated with me all year. And he says, "You do not rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems." So
mm,
we can have the loftiest
mm.
goals out there. Ain't that deep?
That
But we
is
can have
good,
the
girl.
loftiest goals. Every year we might say, "Hey, I want to lose X amount of pounds," or "I want to get into, those jeans that I have in my, closet that I haven't been able to get into." We can have the biggest goals and the biggest dreams, but if you don't
Mhm.
have systems in place to get there, then
Yeah.
you're going to find that we're just going to keep repeating these vicious cycles where we're not getting anywhere. And so I believe in getting to the root of the issue. And the root
Mhm,
is, what are your systems? We have a system for everything else. We have a system for how we're going to get that job. We have a system for how we're going to get our kids into those
mhm,
prestigious schools and what their
mhm,
study routine looks like. But when it comes to us and our health, we're experiencing burnout, or we haven't implemented systems that work,
mhm,
sustainable systems that work,
mhm,
and again haven't invited God into that journey to give us that patience that we need,
mhm.
in order to undergo that process.
So I've been one of your client, for a minute. So how I just think about my own leadership. I think about my own walk this year. I met with my therapist yesterday, and she was like, "Girl, I just have to tell you, you have grown and you are shining like a light." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so
Yes,
much."
you are, sis.
What?
You are.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. But I realize, physical stewardship, this is the stewardship that we're talking about. The physical stewardship, it really does intersect with our leadership, our calling, and
Hmm.
our long-term sustainability. How does that intersect?
Yeah. So I found physically, so you talked about the physical stewardship. I
Yeah.
find that when the physical stewardship is absent, you're not able to, you're holding on to dead weight, you're not
Hmm.
happy internally, which is going to continue to present itself outwardly,
Hmm.
and it really just holds us back from operating at our higher selves.
Hmm.
And so when you start like honoring your temple, when you start stewarding your body, and again just with movement, with how you eat, even just what you ingest, not physically from a food standpoint, although that is important, but what you listen to, what you watch. It really shapes the woman that you are becoming.
Absolutely.
And then you just start building this confidence like, wow, I can do all things through Christ
Hmm.
that leads me. And
Hmm.
that's the part that I truly love witnessing as being a coach. Like I said, to just the many faithfuls that I've coached, I love the physical progress that I see with my clients. What really gets me though is seeing my clients step into their calling. And it's the confidence that wasn't there when we were just operating in a space that was just slowly killing us, or something or someone is just draining our energy and preventing us from being able to pour into ourselves.
Hmm.
Because when you see how you can change your life through nutrition, and when you can go through that nutrition journey, which I'm not going to say is easy, right? Like when you truly make that decision, I'm really going to do this. Like I am really going to be mindful about how I fuel my temple. I'm really going to be mindful about meal prep. I'm really going to be mindful about what I get if I do have to go, out to eat. You just look at yourself differently, and then you're just
Hmm.
like, wow, I did this.
Hmm.
And if I
Hmm.
could do this,
Mhm.
Ooh, imagine what else I can do.
What
Like
else
this
can
is
you
just the
do?
beginning. And so that's the part that I truly love, just seeing, just women really step into their power. When you see that you can make that
Mhm.
transformation, which is tough, then the sky is the limit to what else you can do.
Yeah. You talk about the sky's the limit. So one thing that I have yet to share on social media, and I guess now is the time, is the
Ah.
Saturday before my very first episode of The Coach's Kitchen.
Mhm.
Y'all, this chick right here, we went on a walk.
But share how the walk came about.
I how did the walk come? I don't remember how we just went on a walk. Didn't we
No,
just
we
say we were
didn't.
gonna meet up and go
No, we
walking?
knew we were. No, y'all. No, we didn't. Don't listen to that. So we knew we was gonna get together.
Yes. We were gonna get together and we decided we were gonna go on a walk.
Yeah, I think I was just like, let's go for a walk instead
Yes.
of what do we
Because
normally
she
do? What do we
Yes,
normally do,
because
y'all? We normally
yes.
go out to eat and we sit and we eat and drink for hours on end, and then you look up and you're just like, dang, I haven't even moved. My body got some steps in, so I'm just like, you know what? We're gonna do something different.
Yep. And then she made
And
me
then,
walk
yeah, we're gonna go
forever.
on a hike. Yeah.
We walked forever. So yes, it was not a walk, it was a hike.
Yes,
You used the
yes.
right word. That was the right noun. So anyway, we're hiking, and this girl's like, let's go down this hill. Now, mind you, we kind of like in the woods, right? And so she's like, come on. I'm like, I'm not going down there. So she just runs, just runs. So I was like, okay, I have to go with her because I can't just let her go down there. She's like, oh my gosh, isn't this is so beautiful? Look at the pond. It's just so beautiful. Okay, Leslie, go over there and take a picture with the tree. So I go over there to the tree. She's like, no, climb the tree. I'm like, hold up. She's like, aren't you about to climb something like this week? This is
Yes.
just a physical representation of you stepping into the new calling into your life. Go ahead, I got you. And she just holds me and supports me. I didn't fall out the tree. I didn't fall out the tree.
She did
But
not.
I
She
did.
survived, y'all.
We took pictures, all this stuff. I have yet to post this stuff. So maybe I should share it. So anyway, but yes. So I appreciate the different kind of accountability that you provide is not about shame. It's more about compassion and it's more about empowering women, myself included, to step into their God-given
Yes.
purpose.
Yes,
So why is
absolutely.
that so important though? Why is it so important, especially for women of faith,
Hmm.
to model to model, accountability rooted in compassion rather than shame?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, we are an extension of God's love. Like we embody, God's love. We are the extension of his hands and his feet. And so, it's just so important that we model ourselves as such.
Mhm.
We are all sisters. I don't believe in the spirit of competition. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I truly do believe that there's a space for everyone. And as I mentioned before, there's a purpose on everyone's life. And I feel like we all have, a spiritual gift. You literally
Mhm.
just named a few more. So I do encourage you, if you don't know what your spiritual gifts are, there's free quizzes online. But you had mentioned exhortation or just the gift of
Mhm.
encouragement, which is one of my gifts,
Mhm.
as well as mercy is one of my gifts as well, which is
Mhm.
honestly just compassion, just, exuding
Mhm.
compassion.
Mhm.
That's all I want to do. My prayer every day, and when I pray with my kids, is when people see me, and I mean this, I don't want them to see Cara. I want them to see, okay, she's got God's light in her. I want them to
Mhm.
see God in me. I want them to see
Mhm.
Jesus in me. And so I think that
Mhm.
that's so important.
Mhm.
So that way everybody can operate together for the greater good of what His will and calling is of our life. I feel like when we're operating in silos, or when we're operating in a place of where we're not happy, just like I said, physically you're not able to reach your gifts. I know you're not even scratching the surface of what he has for you. And
Yes.
so purpose a purpose living life, that's what I wish for everybody, because it feels
Mhm.
good, right? Like it
It
feels
does.
good to finally be in this space, finally, after years and years and years of just chasing, like
Mhm.
I said, worldly things that I found never fulfilled me. When he says, "Seek me first, and I will give you everything else," that's what my challenge is to everybody: is seek him first, and he will just align your steps
Yeah.
to make you just feel, yeah, more fulfilled.
Now, there may be women listening, they're just like, you know what, but I've failed way too many times to
Yeah,
even start over or try again. What would you
yeah,
say to her?
yeah. Come see me. Come talk to me. Cause yeah,
She's like, just it's simple. Just
like
come talk to me.
yeah.
Give him a sneak preview, Dr. Cara.
But yeah, you gotta, and I get it because if whether you're just tuning in or if you listen to what we talked about before, I'm relatable because everything you've tried, sis. Look, we here. I've tried it. Like I have tried it, and and I get it. Like my systems were broken, my faith was broken. My world of me trusting science and medicine failed me when I
Mhm.
couldn't bring my father or save my father. So I get it. Like I was at my wits end, and
Mhm.
it truly was that place. What I found is your best strength comes
Mhm.
from a place of surrender. And, I don't think a lot of women, are you ready to surrender that control? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
A lot of women are just like, well, I'll go work out, but you could catch me on the other side with the nutrition. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Are you ready to really go all in? Or,
Mhm.
I'll do this, but I'm not going to do this.
Mhm.
And, for me, it was no more cookie cutter. Like it
Mhm.
was faith first. Nutrition is 90% of the journey, ladies. And
Mhm.
honestly, 99% of the women that come to me know that nutrition is the issue. And so
Mhm.
it just makes your journey so much easier, when you truly embrace how to fuel your body. But it's not
Mhm.
from a place of restriction like we think. So if you think you've tried it all, you
Mhm.
schedule a consultation with me because I'm willing to bet you haven't tried it through the lens of faith food fitness,
Mhm.
the faith food fitness approach, that we educate women on through Faith Strong Elite. It's different.
Mhm.
And I tell people it's not a program, it's an experience. It truly
Mhm.
is an
It
experience.
is. It is.
Hmm.
So, to our listeners, we have some very engaged audience, by the way. If you have any
Oh, we do. What are
questions,
they
oh
saying?
my gosh, they're just really excited. Oh,
I
y'all
don't
don't
see it,
know.
y'all, because
Cara,
I was too nervous to look.
no,
So
don't
I
look.
don't see no
Don't look.
comments at
Don't look.
all. So,
Don't look. It's just me and you.
okay.
Forget I even said anything. But
Okay.
anyway, if y'all have any questions, let us know. But you talked about nutrition and
Uh-huh.
trying everything, right?
Uh-huh.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room.
All right, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go.
Let's go.
GLP-1s.
Let's
Let's
go.
talk about it. What you got to say? It wasn't even on my script, but you talked about nutrition. I was like, what is the audience thinking?
Well, we
The
have to
audience is
talk
probably
about
thinking
it.
about like
Yeah.
what is happening right now, the
Yeah.
trend right now,
Yeah.
and what is helping a lot of people right
Mhm.
now.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
you're a scientist, so you probably
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
what the GLP-1, what's all
Yeah.
in it. So talk about
Yeah.
it. Let's go
Yeah,
there.
so no, we have to talk about it. Like you said, it's the elephant in the room, but let's address it though. So GLP-1 is a glucagon-like peptide. So this is a hormone that our bodies produce. A lot of women, one, don't realize that. Okay, so this is a hormone that we naturally produce. It stimulates your pancreas to create more insulin, so it's removing blood sugar from the bloodstream. It makes you
Mhm.
feel fuller
Mhm.
faster. It delays stomach emptying. And it just, again, it triggers your hunger hormones like your leptin and your ghrelin that you are full. So, do they work? Yes, they do work, right? So, from a scientist, standpoint,
Mhm.
here's where I'm going to just take a different approach, right? Here's my
Okay.
concerns, with the GLP-1. It's only putting women in a steeper calorie deficit, which in the long run there's going to be some, I would say, circumstances that's going to come from that. So, what I mean by a steeper calorie deficit is when you are lowering your calorie intake with the goal of weight loss. Okay.
Mhm.
When we reduce our calorie intake, and many women have done this for years. So, this is why when you're entering into your late 30s, your early 40s, why you just feel stuck or why you are
Mhm.
experiencing weight regain because we've just been dieting for way too long. So
Mhm.
when you are in a steep calorie deficit, you are actually slowing your metabolism down. If you listen or recall from what I mentioned before, we have a metabolic health issue. Our metabolisms are just fried. Like they're slowed
Mhm.
down, they're exhausted because we are not fueling our bodies. So the GLPs are just putting you into a steeper deficit. So what happens with that is now we're experimenting with the medication that's also muscle wasting. So we're losing a
Okay.
lot of muscle by being on this medication because we're not eating enough. So in order to build muscle, you got to eat, right? So we have to
Mhm.
eat and we have to lift and we have to move our body. And so yes, GLP-1 is going to give you that quick fix.
Mhm.
However, what a lot of women don't realize is carbs release GLP-1, and this is something that was never taught to us. What have we been conditioned around carbs?
To stop eating them.
To stop eating them. So it's
Mhm.
no wonder why our hormones are out of whack, why we're not producing enough GLP-1 because we just reduced our carb intake. So, do I feel that GLP-1 is addressing the root issue? No. The root issue isn't necessarily I need to eat less. The root issue is we need to learn how to eat. Period. We need to look
Mhm.
at the quality of the foods that we are consuming. When was the last time you ate a vegetable? When was the last time you ate a fruit? When was the last time you ate a whole grain or you had a complex carb? When was the last time
Mhm.
you looked at the amount of fiber that you were consuming? All of these foods
Mhm.
also release GLP-1 and give you the same effect. So if you think about if you eat fruit, if you eat vegetables, you feel full. You don't eat as much.
Mhm.
Fiber also decreases your blood sugar. It
Mhm.
stabilizes your blood sugar and keeps it at a steady state, which actually lowers your A1C. So through our program or through our experience with Faith
Mhm.
Strong Elite, we've seen so many clients and faithfuls that have started our program with an A1C at 8 or above, or being diagnosed with diabetes. And we have witnessed as a community A1Cs being lowered. We have witnessed as a community where our faithfuls are no longer have the diagnosis of diabetes. Like that's being wiped off of their charts. We have seen women being removed from blood pressure medications,
Yeah.
all because we're no longer restricting ourselves. We're just teaching ourselves how to properly fuel our body.
Yeah. So one of the viewers also asked, what happens like when we come off of it too? So especially if
Yes.
you're not taking it for a medical or like a
Right.
diabetic reason, what
Yeah.
happens when we
Yeah.
come off of it?
Yeah. So when we come off of the medication, again, this is because we're not addressing the root issue. So remember, you're in a steep calorie deficit when you're on the medication. So
Mhm.
studies have shown that in 90% of the cases, because we're not changing our lifestyle at all, when we get off of these GLP-1s, we experience weight regain because naturally. So I'll try to keep it high level without going too deep. But let's say, someone's on a GLP-1 and they're averaging 1,200 calories a day. And I know women that are on a GLP-1 that's not even eating that. So I'm being very gracious when I say 1,200 calories, which is
Mhm.
still not even enough. But let's say
Mhm.
you're on a GLP-1 and you're averaging 1,200 calories a day. When you get off of the medication, naturally certain hormones are going to start upregulating again. So number one, your ghrelin hormone, which is responsible for your hunger, that's going to
Mhm.
go up. Your leptin hormone, which triggers your brain, you're full, is going to go down. So now you're going to
Mhm.
start naturally just eating more. So now you go from eating 1,200 calories to now you're eating 1,500 calories or
Mhm.
1,600 calories a day. And that's where we experience weight
Just
regain.
the gradual, the
Yes,
gradual.
yes,
Yeah.
yep.
So, okay. So here's another question that was asked. How do you eat when you're not hungry and get
Yeah,
food fast, but you're not on the medication? So,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
told to eat, but just
yes.
having difficulty eating at times.
Yeah, so I've experienced this, y'all. Like, again,
I
every
experience it
client.
now, and I'm gonna tell you when in a minute. Go ahead.
But I'll tell you, so every client is like, Cara, you want me to eat all this food? Yes, I do. And I want you to
You
just trust me and
just
have
eat
faith.
it.
Yeah, so. But let me explain the phenomenon that goes behind us not being hungry because our bodies are very complex, but our bodies are also very intuitive. So when we
Mhm.
go years of restriction or we go years without eating, I mentioned before, we're slowing our metabolism down. So this is called metabolic adaptation. You are forcing your metabolism to adapt to the fact that Leslie's only going to eat one meal a day. Leslie's only going to eat twice a day. So now I'm going to not burn as much energy, or I'm not going to burn as much calories as efficiently as I could, which is another
Mhm.
reason why we carry weight or we see increased fat storage because we're just not burning calories efficiently.
Mhm.
So the same way we decrease our calories and just not feel hungry is the same way we can increase it. So what I tell my clients, I always start them and meet them where they're at. And this is why it's so important to invest in an individualized and customized, nutrition plan for you because everyone is different.
Yeah.
And so I meet my clients where they're at, and then we slowly will increase, your calorie intake until you get to a place that's healthy and sustainable.
Mhm.
But
You
it's
talk
more like, eating smaller meals more
Yeah.
frequently,
Yep.
or it could just be over time. We slowly increase your calorie intake. The more movement you do, so moving your body more, the more lifting that you do, you're going to find that all these things increase your metabolic rate and it's going to trigger you to be hungry. And so that's when you know you're on the right track. So it definitely comes with, fueling your body more consistently, getting your metabolism more used to that. But then the movement piece and lifting and moving more will also stimulate more hunger as well.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. When I lift and when I work out, I'm famished. Give me all the food. When I
Hmm.
don't move, I'm like, I'm
Yes.
good.
Yes.
So it's so interesting how like food and fitness go hand in hand.
Yes, they do. With faith,
Mind,
it's
mind
the
blown. With
triad.
it. Yes,
It's the triad. Yes,
absolutely.
yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Faith first.
Yes.
Because again, like I said, the faith first part is just that reminder like, okay, Car is telling me to do things that
Yeah.
maybe the world is telling me not to do. So it's like, are you really going to go all in, jump in, and just be like, all right, I'm just going to trust you? And this is what, honestly, I had a coach, and for me, I was just like, what else do I have to lose? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like I just got to a place where I hit my rock bottom. And it's just like I've tried everything else but fueling my body. What do I have to lose by eating? You know what I mean? As many diets as I've tried, as many crashes as I've tried, detoxes, what do I have to lose? And so when I did that and took a leap of faith, it forever changed my life.
Hmm. Hmm. Um, okay.
What else they saying?
We're almost had to wrap it up. Oh my gosh, Cara. I told you that. I told you, like, I told you. I was like, when you just talk to me, it goes like this. It goes like this. So I do
It does.
have another GLP-1 question.
Okay, okay.
So someone one of our viewers says, I'm on the medication for diabetes. Can I
Yeah.
eat based on your meal plan and counteract the initial effect of the medication?
Say that. Okay, sorry. Say that one more time.
So I'm on the medication for diabetes.
Hmm.
Can I eat based on your meal plan and counteract the initial effect of the medication?
So I would take so, and I have worked with clients that are on a GLP or trying to wean themselves off. So that would be a
Mhm.
completely different approach. So that is something that I'm skilled and trained in to do. And so what we would do, or what I would recommend, is something that's called a reverse diet. So think of, like I said, dieting is you're actually lowering your calorie intake. But with a reverse diet, we're actually doing the opposite. So if you think about when you take yourself off of a GLP-1, there really is no, I would say, strategic planning or strategic phase to get you from the calories that you're currently eating to where we need to be in order for our bodies to be, thriving metabolically, thriving physiologically. And so this will take a reverse diet is where we actually take a strategic step approach from where you're currently at, where your calories, to where I need you to be
Mhm.
without seeing weight gain. So
Mhm.
there is a process with that. It's called a reverse diet. So yes, you
Okay.
can do that.
Okay. So we're gonna take one more audience question and then we're gonna
Okay.
wrap it up. All right.
All
So
right.
what about menopausal belly fat? What are your recommendations?
Listen, please go to my website and check out my before and afters
I already
so
know
that
it.
way
I
you
was
can
like,
see
mind
how, like,
blown.
yes, how you can see literally when you change the game with nutrition, the first place you see it is in your waistline.
Mhm.
So, menopausal, and I say this to say, Leslie knows I can go all day about this
All day.
topic, but
All
when
day.
you, in a good way, y'all. But when you decrease your calories, I mentioned before, not only are you decreasing your metabolism, nobody teaches us that, nobody taught us that, but you're also down regulating your hormones, okay? So not only are your hormones now down regulated, then you throw in menopause, which is already our hormones going out of whack. So you're just further compounding the issue. So when you truly introduce and implement a system with nutrition, a system with sleep hygiene, making sure you're getting enough sleep, a system with movement and resistance training, baby, that menopausal, I ain't worried about no menopausal belly fat because I know it's gonna go away. I've seen it
Mhm.
time and time and
Mhm.
time again, time and time and time again.
It happens. And for those that are watching on Facebook, that's one of our viewers there had asked the question. I did post the testimonials right into the feed, and then we'll also make sure that we
Yeah.
include your website
Oh,
on
thank you.
the various
Thank you.
channels. But to wrap up, Cara, first of all, let me say thank you. Number
Thank
one.
you.
Number two, this right here is what you get with Cara. Like, you do. You get this with her experience. So it's not just, here's your plan, go eat this, go work out this, let's do that. That's it. Like with no explanation behind it and the accountability, you gonna get it. All
I
right.
don't let y'all off the hook. I do not
You
let y'all off the
gonna
hook.
get the accountability. It's not, come back when you lose 10 pounds. No, it is okay, let's
We
talk
tap in
about this
daily. Like
week
we
by
have
week.
our own app community. So when I tell you that I tap in daily, like I tap in daily,
Yes, you
daily.
do. Yes, you
Yeah.
do. And you provide the daily devotionals, etc.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how has doing this work deepened your own faith and obedience,
Yeah.
Carl?
Whew. So, I found I'm type A, so I like to be in control, of course. And I had this whole like map of how my life was going to go, like the trajectory of my life. And I was going to be the CEO of, or the next CEO of CVS, and I was going to keep climbing that corporate ladder. And I had all these plans, you know what I mean? And so my life is not where I had envisioned it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's better. So I can truly say that I'm grateful that God gave me purpose, from the
Yeah.
pain that I
Mm-hmm.
experienced. And that if I can help anybody else on their journey, whether it be just a journey through grief or pain or hopelessness, that has fueled me. My dad told me the day that he transitioned, he said, I have to go so somebody else can live. And
Ooh.
so I feel like, yeah, if we had a whole nother hour, I would unpack that. But I get it, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm.
I get it, Dad.
Yeah,
I get
she
it.
gets it.
I get
She
it.
gets it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
So I just say that for me, to answer your question,
mhm.
realizing his way is better.
Yeah.
I'm just ready to just go all in and just to continue to surrender to see what else he has in store for me.
Mhm. And final tip. I have two
Yeah.
two more questions.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
I'm so sad. Okay, so maybe you can come back next
Yeah.
year
Let's do a part
and do
two.
a part two
Yeah.
about what, dad told you and like,
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so, okay. So if a woman um wants to become faith strong today, what is
Mm.
one small practical step she can take this week? Just
Yeah.
this
Well,
week.
yeah, I love that. Spend time in God's presence is what I would say. Spend time in God's presence. Like I said before, He speaks in a whisper,
Mhm,
and we are consumed with noise. Like we are, whether it's
mhm,
noise at home, because we're trying to serve and cater, and we've got the aprons on and making sure everything else is good, and then at work we're leading and striving, and we're in the ministries at church, and so just spend time in his presence and just be still.
be still.
That's where I feel like he's like literally next to me when I hear my next steps. It's almost like
Mhm,
he's just, you just hear his voice. So just, be still, find that stillness. um not to divert, but our community meets live at 5, right? Like, so we're just known for our live streaming strength
And that's five what?
trainings.
Let's be specific.
5 a.m.
Okay, just
But
want to
the
make sure.
reason we do that is because it's our uninterrupted time. Like that was
Mhm,
strategic. Like there's,
mhm,
like I said, my kids wake up at 6 a.m. When else am I going to get that uninterrupted time? So is it hard? Yeah, it's hard
mhm,
getting up that early, but I have to choose my hard. And
mhm,
so by creating a system, that's a system, getting up early, spending time in God's
mhm,
presence, getting my strength training out the way. That way, when 6 a.m. comes and who knows what the enemy's trying to throw out there, my meals are already prepped, my workout is already done. I'm already ahead of the game, no matter what he tries to throw my way. So, definitely start with the systems like just, being still and listening to God's voice and what he has to say for you to you.
Oh, Lord. So, can I ask you a question? I'm adding a question. So, can
Yeah.
I ask you a question?
I
That's
knew we were
always
going
a
to go
question.
longer, but that's okay. I'm here for it.
Well, we've already gone an hour, Cara. So just so you know, yeah,
Okay, okay.
I told you. So, there have been more questions that are coming in. So I would just invite you to just read through the comments and
Okay.
engage with the audience,
Okay.
because they have questions. What I would encourage all of y'all though is to connect with Cara,
Yeah.
Dr. Cara
Yeah.
Williams.
Connect
So
with
why don't
me. I
you
don't
tell us
fight.
how people can stay connected with you and continue beyond, tonight's conversation, and tell us what's next, what's coming up for
Yes.
you in the new year.
Okay. All right, y'all. So, like I
Let's
said, I'm
go.
going all in, right? So I'm going all in next year. Just so excited. So there's so much that's happening. So at the top of the year, so January 4th, mark your calendars. January 4th, and I strategically did this on purpose. We are going to have our in-person January Jumpstart Women's Health Fair. So something I am curating just for you. I want to pour back into you. And I know I'm sick and tired of, starting these New Year's resolutions and not finishing them. I'm tired of that for you. And so at this January Jumpstart, we're going to be strategic with how we approach our faith, food, and fitness systems. So please join us. It's on January 4th after church. It's from 2 to 6 at Elite Training Sports Performance Gym. Some of you may have joined us last year. It's going to be bigger and better. We're going to have live strength training, live breathing and stretching with our yoga instructor. We're going to have just wellness vendors that are there to do health screens. So you'll get your blood pressure checked, your A1C checked, your body composition checked. We're going to have wellness vendors like Juice Remedy. We're going to have Vitamin Shop there. Y'all, we going big, all right? So we're going to
Woolworth's
start the
Candle
year off
Company. Look.
strong. And then something new and different we're going to do this year that I'm truly excited about is we're going to have a panel discussion titled Beyond the Scale. And so
Mhm.
this is going to be a panel discussion led by Black women in the healthcare industry. So physicians, nurse practitioners, pharmacists, trainers, health and wellness trainers to answer your questions in person,
Mhm.
with the design and the intention of making sure that we start the ground running. We start off strong at the beginning of the year instead of just waiting. So
Yeah.
80% of the women that start a New Year's resolution fall off by February. So we got
Mhm.
to do different. We got to do different and start taking care of us. So we got that coming up on January 4th. And then we also have our 2026 series of Live at 5 will begin the week of January 12th. So make sure you join our wait list, which is on www.faithstrongelite.com, so you can stay in the know about that. We're going to be branching off into corporate wellness. So very excited about that. He's moving, and so I'm just trying to get out the way. Like I'm just trying to get out the way, and just continue to just follow in his footsteps.
Whew, man, that was deep.
What are they saying? I want
That
to
is
know. Now
deep.
I want to
They
see the
are so,
comments and
I
what
mean, they're
they're
just,
saying.
they appreciate you.
I love y'all.
Your twin says, Daddy is so proud.
She's gonna
Yeah.
make me lose it.
She said that, and she said that he's also bragging about you in heaven.
Uh, she's gonna make me lose it.
But
That's
yeah,
my baby. I love you, 20. I
yeah,
love you.
I love you too. So, But yes, I am so excited. And like she said, we do meet or, Faith Strong Elite meets at 5 a.m. I am alive after
But you don't
5.
have to. Yes.
And I want to make sure I put that out there. So, if I don't want anyone to feel intimidated that they have to log in like at 4:58 a.m.
Right.
But I am alive at 5 after because everything is recorded. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Which is
Dr.
amazing. We
Carr,
have a whole community live after 5,
yes,
but you still stay connected through
absolutely.
our app. We still hold each other accountable. They post their sweat check pictures. We check in on each
Mhm.
other. Okay, I didn't see your sweat check pic. What's going on? So, yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful community.
It's wonderful and it's faithful. It's
Yes.
faithful. Well,
Yes.
Dr. Carr Williams, it's such a pleasure and honor to have you on the Coach's Kitchen. To everyone else, thanks for pulling up a seat
Thank
to the
you.
Coach's
Thank you.
Kitchen.
Thank you.
Um, I hope today's conversation stirred something in you. We are not here for microwavable air fryer success. We're
Not anymore.
baking, we're crock potting it. That's what we're doing tonight
Yes.
in every episode on the Coach's Kitchen. So share this episode, tag Cara. Oh yeah, tell us how to get in contact with you.
Yes, so
Yes.
please, yes. So please, you can follow me on social media, Instagram at Faith Strong Elite. You could go to my website, faithstrongelite.com, and set up a complimentary consultation. I would love to just meet with you, dialogue with you, get to learn more about you. Like I said, everything is customized to you. Not one, neither, none of us are the same. So my approach is going to be different, for everyone. And again, on the website, on the homepage, not only can you register for our Jumpstart Health Fair, but you can also sign up for our wait list as well for our series and programming that's going to start in January.
I'm so excited. And I'm
We're
so
just getting
excited.
started. This next year is going to be about leading with faith and training with fire. I'm
Yeah.
bringing that heat, y'all. So let's
Let's
go.
go. Let's go. I just love that we're both in such alignment, not only with our
Yeah.
gray sweaters this
Yeah.
evening, but
Which
also
we did
just
not plan this,
we
y'all. We did
didn't.
not
We
plan
didn't.
this.
We didn't. And I've been saying that I'm in my surrender season too. So
Yes.
we're in this together.
Yes.
So yes, tag Faith Strong Elite, tag me at Leslie Nicole Speaks and or tck.live. Let the people know what's cooking, y'all. We cooked up something big tonight.
Yes.
But if you're ready to stop carrying the weight alone, I'd love to walk with you. Dr. Cara would love to walk with you. Through customized one-on-one coaching, I help women find clarity, courage, the balance, and the confidence to move to that next level and to show up for themselves.
Yes.
I have personally decided to invest in myself and my house. We
Yes.
invest in we have this mortgage and we invest in our homes. I've invested in my house. So
Yes.
let's redefine your chapter together. Remember, this is where wholeness gets cooked slowly. And girl, your breakthrough is always welcome here. Until next time,
I
stay
love
bold
you.
and
Love you,
stay
sis.
whole. I
Thank you
love
so
you
much. Love
more.
you.
Love you, love you, love you. And we love all of you
We love
too.
you. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes,
I can't
thank you
wait to
so much.
connect with you all.